Hello, my name is Kyle Robert Balitz, and it is 12/22 8-18. Now, I'm making videos not to attack my brother. I just want to not necessarily expose him, but just share the experiences that he's doing and what him and the family has to deal with. And basically, he was holding a knife, like almost like a little kid, and he's saying that he wants to cut himself and watch him bleed. And he asked me to call my mother, and I did. So after that, he talked to mom for a bit. I went in the other room, and he's just doing some random notes that I just want to cover. He gave me this note saying, "I am autistic, love Travis." It says, "I got it. No, I don't. You can figure this out. Just trust your heart. Stay and do this. You will see light." And he turned on my light. And he says, "You clearly are autistic, Travis." And he's got a whole bunch of notes in here. And he's sitting, trying to get through the episode. This note says, "Hopefully Melissa can help me out. Yeah, I need an IRLS, which is intensive residential treatment. One more time, just one more time. I am sick, house is sick. Why? 'Cause I said so. Game over, please. Better than using a razor or knife to bleed to death. Help me. Keep writing. Kyle, where are you? I don't get you no more. Nothingness. Now if I can die in peace. Just breathe. Help me. I am autistic. Love Travis. Insanity. Torture. Not 8:30 p.m. I need drugs. Pain. Just pain. Emptiness. Worthlessness." And he's in a lot of pain. And help me. I don't understand what is going on. Constantly need stimulation. Help me. Emptiness. Only pain. Burn yourself. Take deep breaths. Cut yourself. Just pain. Mental pain. It's not even 8:30 p.m. There's no hope. I just think. Help me. My mind is stuck in a rut. What else is there in life? Nothing. Burn yourself. Need help badly. Just breathe. Help me. I am autistic. Love Travis. Help. Just burn yourself. What to do? There is only pain. God damn it. Pain without hope. I'm dying. And he's sitting right here. What do you want? Just pain. Why am I stuck in a hole? Help me. I am suffering. When will it be 8:30 p.m.? Which is when he takes his med. Help, please, God, help me. Help me, please. Are there any thoughts that you would like to share?
Not really, just...
To share to the medical doctors if we have to.
It's just
and
that
what things can you do to help?
I don't physically like to harm myself because
Yeah.
I don't like scars.
But why did you get that idea? Because you're talking to someone who did that, or
It just seemed like a pleasant way out at the time.
it seems painful though, I think.
It's painful.
Did you end up writing notes in the bathtub, or?
No, in the family room. It's hard to see them. There's only... It's one on the clock, one on the TV, and then...
Yeah, it basically puts them on the TV. We're just waiting for Melissa. I am autistic, love Travis. I'm autistic, love Travis. And just like a couple of notes. But yeah, so what things would you want and expect for the help you're not getting yet?
Obviously, I need constant stimulation, and there's not enough stimulation here.
So and how come you don't want to be at mom's house?
Because she wasn't there, so it was equally.
But she's there right now. Were you
She's there right now,
did
but
you
at the
plan
same
eating?
time-
Did you plan sleeping there if I didn't go home?
What I originally planned was her to be there, and I could feel okay. But she wasn't there,
Oh.
so I wasn't okay.
Well, if you can't rely on mom, if you can't rely on me, if you can't rely on
I
Melissa
do this.
and dad,
I do self-harm to self-destructive thoughts. I have self-destructive thoughts.
and you're not on any meds, or are you on meds?
I'm on lithium, 1,200 milligrams, Latuda, 60 milligrams, metoprolol, 0.5 milligrams, clonazepam, 25 milligrams, and doxepin, 10 milligrams.
So what did you? So why did you start feeling this way after you did a gift for someone, which I'm gonna keep not on camera because it might be Christmas, and why did you just started feeling bad?
My brain just doesn't shut itself off.
What do you mean shut itself
It
off?
doesn't shut itself off. Or it can just enjoy and relax. It's
And you don't
constant.
think it's the meds that are causing it, or it's just
I
you,
don't
or
know. No one told me it was the meds. No one told me that the
Do you-
disorder just goes off.
so would you be comfortable showing this video and sharing it to your doctor so they can understand you better?
Yes, I'm willing to disclose this.
And I won't
this.
disclose this online because that doesn't really help.
If
I mean, it could help. It
information
could
needs
help.
to be disclosed, then I will be willing to share this.
It can help. I mean, some other mentally ill people to understand it, and even not mentally ill people. But I'm doing this video clearly out of not to be intrusive, but I just want the doctors and people who are willing to help you to understand you better and to
I will
help you better.
disclose this video. I will disclose all information related to this video.
Okay. What are things that I can do based off
There's
after you
nothing
talk to
can
mom?
do, it's only me. I
Well,
gotta go
it's
figure
odd though
out, but
because
can't-
I've been even at home most of the day, and I've been here, but it clearly doesn't help. I guess because when I'm not here, actually I don't know what you do when I'm not here. With all these,
I used to go outside and have a tent, but I have no tent out there, so
so
it's forcing
maybe
me
that's what you need to
close this all
do.
in.
So maybe you're actually mad at dad because he put away your tent, and that as an adult, my therapist said that you sometimes need to make, as an adult, you need to learn to make the wrong decisions, but I don't think it's a wrong decision. It's just that you have to do what you want to do, so maybe we should go set up your tent so you can sit out there and you don't have to stay in this
But-
house.
It's on Dad's property, so I really don't have a right to have it out there. So,
But that's what my therapist said. You're paying the bills here, right?
yep.
So why don't you have a right to do what you want when you're actually paying your fair share?
I don't like it here. Period. I'm relying on people to literally be a watchdog. I think I need intensive residential treatment, a nurse.
And what's the difference from the one that you've been to when you graduated today?
The difference is that you go home afterwards.
And that's not good.
It's not good if I get like this. And I still feel
So you basically were holding a knife, which is odd because I sort of felt that way too after just a breakup. But that's just, I don't know if
This
it's
is me
normal. I
daily.
just felt really
this
sad.
is me daily if I end up going into a path that I feel is not right.
So do you think living at mom has to be? You can't come back, or?
I don't like living at mom's. She's not always there all the time, so how's that helping me out?
But even when
wanna
I'm
work.
here, I'm not enough though. So it's
I need to
nothing
be
I
in the
can do.
hospital.
Maybe. Do you want me to drive you up there now?
I need to be in a hospital.
Well, do you want me to drive you up there now?
It's late. I don't want you to. If you go up there, I don't want you to stay.
Am I allowed to go home as long as they drop you off?
You can drop me off, but this will be my 5th hospitalization. How long will I be crying wolf until they actually solve the fucking problem? How do they know they can solve it?
Maybe they can't. So then the problem is that you're at home.
My coping mechanism is
bad. Well, this is actually okay. At least you're not harming yourself. I still thought the tent was fine, and maybe you're actually mad.
What if I wanted to poke a hole in the wall again?
I don't recommend that. Maybe poke a hole outside in the sand. Because it's Dad's property, and even if it's property, you bought that tent with your own money, so who cares?
But he took it down.
Then put it back up.
Because it already told me that he doesn't
accept your coping mechanism.
My coping mechanism.
So maybe in reality you're just mad at him.
I'm not mad at him because generally, how can you be mad at him when he owns the property?
But you still feel trapped though, and you can't feel better. Trapped. And you can't feel better. That's the issue.
I don't feel better.
Yeah.
I want you to load this video on YouTube, actually.
On Real Group Station?
Yes, because I think it's really important.
I want to know that in the past I felt like I did this because...
Maybe you can load it actually on Nancy's mental illness subject when she gets the chance.
Okay. Well, I just want to, with my opinion,
I'm actually living... Why don't you just ask what mental illness do you have?
What mental illness do you have?
I have currently bipolar 1 disorder moderate.
And how...
Bipolar 1 disorder, depressed moderate.
And for people who don't understand mental illness...
Schizoaffective disorder.
And people who don't understand mental illness, could you describe what that is and what you feel?
A person experiences mania, which is like...
And what is this? Is this psychosis or is this mania? What is this, in your opinion?
This is depression. So there's 2 formulas to bipolar disorder: mania and depression. I'm always in the depression. As you and me.
Not always. Yesterday you're
partly elated.
That wasn't elated. You're just normal.
Well,
maybe average thinking.
Average thinking, maybe, but.
So I want you to share for people who don't understand you and why you do this. Can you give an answer? Or do you think it's just a disease?
All that I can tell you is I'm
just like diabetes, where
mental illness is like diabetes because you don't really have control over it.
And even if it causes other people misery, it's not necessarily your fault because
common as silver cars.
So basically, you went to hospitalization how many times?
4.
And has it helped you?
And I graduated from 1 partial
today.
Today.
And what did the lady talk to you about when Dad and I weren't invited because I'm too involved with the issues usually, and I was stressed out with my stuff?
It was a fairly calm discussion. I was on the waiting list for an IRTS, an intensive residential treatment, but I also was on the board for doing another program which was with MN mental health. MN mental health, I believe. And I'm doing a stat program there, half days, 4 hours, 3 days a week, and then I stepped down after 10 days to an 8-week program called day treatment, which is half days and mornings or afternoons, 3 days a week. And then I stepped down further to 12 to 15 weeks for the wellness and recovery.
So this has been going on since 2009?
I had an ongoing disorder since 2008, so 7 years, or 6 years.
And do you think you're actually mentally disturbed, or when you took those drugs that caused it, or what do you think?
I've been on 25 different medications.
And
I don't want to name them all because it's a lot. But I've been on 8 antipsychotics and probably 5 antidepressants and 2 mood stabilizers that I've tried.
Now, I'm your twin, and I've been diagnosed with autism. And since a lot of those drugs don't work, do you really truly think it could be that, or what's your own opinion?
Without meds, I don't sleep. So with lithium alone, I don't sleep. It's not pleasant.
And okay, can you describe what's the difference when you're on the lithium and what's the difference when you're on the antipsychotic? Do you see any differences? Just
I
alone, if
feel
you can.
depressed
Just on
on the
lithium?
antipsychotic still.
Oh.
It's not solving the depression, and that
Yeah.
what the Latuda was for was to raise the depression, so I don't feel this.
So can I ask you, when you're like writing all those letters and you're walking backwards and yelling at Becky's ghost,
psychosis.
that wasn't depression?
That was psychosis.
That wasn't depression though?
Why would a
Like-
depressed person walk backwards
Oh.
and yell at a blank?
And yell at the statue and climb the... Oh.
Why would a normal person would want to yell at a?
So do you think you're
yelling
psychotic
at
now?
This is not psychosis.
Oh.
This is just misery.
Oh.
This is suicidal thinking.
That's not psychosis?
No, this is suicidal ideation.
Okay, and what was I gonna say? So you've been having these issues struggling for a long time, and I've been struggling with it for a while.
Do you mind if we go downstairs to take my medication? I
Yeah.
can show you what I take.
Okay, I'm gonna record Travis take his meds, and we'll see if it actually helps him. He asked me to follow him downstairs, and
So all my medication.
so yeah, so he's taking the meds. And how many meds do you take?
8.
He
Pills.
takes
So
8
there's-
pills. Can you just tell each one?
There's
Can't
1,200 milligrams
Okay.
of lithium.
That's lithium, the anti-bipolar.
Anti-manic, actually.
Oh,
This is the Latuda, the antipsychotic that I take. It has an L and 60 on it. Take that.
and how much is that mg?
60 milligrams. This is metoprolol.
And that's for-
metoprolol.
Your blood pressure?
This is my blood pressure.
I thought you stopped taking that.
Nope, but I retook it. They decided to put me back on it because I'm taking Latuda. So I'm getting a side effect from Latuda, which is my raised blood
All right.
pressure. And this is Doxepin, 10 milligrams. This is for sleep. So I can try to sleep on time, 10 milligrams. This is half of a clonazepam or Klonopin, 0.5 milligrams.
That's an anti-anxiety.
Anti-anxiety. I use it for sleep too.
So generally, after you take it, how long does it take to take an effect, and how do you feel?
Generally,
Right now.
once I take the pills, I feel already better because
You're sleeping?
I'm so revved up about the pills, and I mean, I get really revved up. You know, like you're anticipating taking the medication, but it turns into suicidal ideation.
Wait, what do you mean? Confused.
I wait when I get home
Yeah.
from 4:30.
That's
to
the
8:30
lows?
p.m. I'm at my lowest.
Can I ask you, is that caused from the lack of dosages going out, or is it actually just the situation? Do you
It's
think?
probably the situation, number one, and it's probably the medication. Maybe medication has to be switched to sometime earlier or something.
So, do you think you do need an antidepressant, or
The
or-
psychiatrist doesn't recommend an antidepressant
Why?
because it can cause psychosis during the manic phase.
but you're depressed as fuck though,
I am depressed as fuck.
and we've been doing this lollygagging with these drugs, and it doesn't seem to help your mood. So what? Now that you're thinking,
If it's the environment, then it's the environment. I got to get out of here.
because it's painful, or what do you think about this
painful
environment?
up in here.
Lonely.
It's painful. It's lonely, isolating.
But even with me
debilitating,
here?
empty. Even if you're here, it doesn't matter. I still got like that, didn't I?
Yes.
So
And
that
I've been
just
here
proves-
all day.
That just proves to you that
That's just
it's
not me.
Not effective.
That it doesn't matter how well, it could be the people, because Nancy sometimes
How
comes
do I
in.
know that the meds aren't causing what I'm experiencing right now? How would I know that?
But you said it wasn't, because you feel better right now when you take them though.
Well, they just got in my system. I don't know if I totally feel better. I don't know if Klonopin is just like that. It might take a while, but
So you think it's anxiety? Is that where you take,
it's suicidal ideations.
and that's not caused by anxiety?
No, I literally wanted to,
Cut yourself?
Cut myself.
So I guess there's any last thoughts for people who don't understand you and say, oh, just what's his problem? Why is he acting like that? What
Possible
what do
that I
you
need
want to?
something to take during 4:30 to 8:30 when times are bad.
So do you and right, you have no control of
I have
what
no
you
control
think.
of my thoughts, no whatsoever.
So it's not your fault. It's just like having a disease or cancer, just in the mind.
This video is to showcase if I end up killing myself and I successfully do it, that at least I tried to get myself out to
Better.
explain myself
And you are.
what's going on, because the doctors do not see this. The psychiatrists do not see this.
They're not at home. They're not here.
At home. They do not.
I'm
see
here.
This.
Dad's here. Melissa sometimes. Mom sometimes. They're probably not going to appreciate.
They will not appreciate that when I'm gone. So
Yeah.
obviously, I'm trying to do the best that I can to
do better.
do better.
Be
but
happier.
Not doing better.
Yeah, and it makes you annoyed or sad,
Yes.
helpless.
Yes.
And so you brought out the tent outside, which I think is okay, but Dad doesn't appreciate that. Generally, how were you with the tent idea, just being outside?
It was a temporary fix. It was not a permanent solution.
You don't think you can do that every time and just do it outside, it's like taking a walk? Have you taken a walk today?
I didn't have the chance to, because I was just enveloped with misery.
And you don't want to work out anymore because...
It wouldn't help me. Plus the sensory issues with my eyes would probably be too much.
And you don't think that's autism? Because autistic people hate the lights. They don't like the sounds.
It's possible I have autism, but I'm not clinically diagnosed at the moment.
Do you want to get clinically diagnosed?
Maybe someday in the future, but I first want to resolve the suicidal ideations
Yes.
that I'm having.
I mean, what are the things that I can do aside from record you and try to ask you questions and
Share this with as many people as possible.
mental health awareness?
It not only helps with mental health awareness, it clearly is a dividend, or it's a catapult to something greater, because I feel like I'm in a bad situation. It's all about perception.
But your
So-
perception's fucked and you can't
Yes,
control
and I
it.
can't get out of it. No.
And even the rabbits, just when you look at them, you just feel nothing.
Nothing. Sometimes, but it's inaccurately. It's not too far from being accurate.
How lonely and how isolated, how misunderstood do you feel having this disease, and how helpless?
I feel very helpless right now. I feel like
A trap in a hole that you can't get out of?
in a cocoon. I feel like in a hole, and I can't get out of it.
And you used to do music to help you, but do you think that only infuriated
doesn't help.
it, or
Brushing doesn't help. Working out doesn't help.
talking to
because-
people and going out has?
I don't know, to an extent. What hurts the most is the fact that you know you're in pain. You can't really.
Yeah,
resolve
and you
it.
can't get out of it.
Nope.
And that it's not necessarily that you cause other people misery, but it's just a taste of how bad you feel inside too.
I feel really bad. I did feel really bad, and I still feel bad
What do you mean did?
because I was miserable up there.
But you took the meds, and what's your mood right now versus before? And
It's all right.
how long does these drugs take to affect, typically?
They take an effect. I'm not sure, but I can usually tell when the situation.
Okay,
has-
so now that you're actually talking, what are some last words you'd like to share to the people who don't have mental illness, and what would you like to share to your doctors?
What I like to share to the people that don't have mental illnesses
And try to get them
still
understand.
well misunderstood, and they have stigma attached to it, when in reality there are, as I said, quoted earlier, there are as common as silver cars. And because of that fact, doctors should also be aware of the fact that whether you have an illness or not, you probably should be aware of the people that do have an illness, and you probably should be willing to support them, because if you really care about them and you truly believe you want them to be here in existence, living with you, then you got to make sure that they're doing well and on their feet.
And sometimes, I guess you do have to rely on people. You can't just rely on yourself to get out of it.
That's exactly true.
You have to have the courage to say, hey, and be honest and not hide it, basically, even if it's hard issues.
That's true. So that's about it.
And what would you like to share to your doctors when you show this video to them
Really, I
show
want to
them?
show the doctors that I do still experience suicidal ideations, that I still have a mood instabilities, and I'm not and they're not as controlled as they should be, and I still experience
The lows?
The lows. So I experience instabilities, the lack of control, and the lows. And then it's not as stable as you think it is.
Okay. All right.
And because the Latuda should be taking care of the lows, I'd feel it's not.
Alrighty, and I'll give some last words too. Basically, sometimes it's hard to deal with my brother. I think doing the anger route hasn't been helpful. It's entertaining to a point, but I think it's more important to show the honest truth. And anger is sometimes a facade. And I just wanted to tell, I love my brother, but sometimes I just don't know what to do. And I thought that just put him in camera and just interviewing and talking to him about it. They stopped doing my other things before, with my business partner or girlfriend or ex, whatever you want to I don't care. But it might be good, so I might continue this interview stuff. So it's not going to be angry asshole Asian twins. I just want to discuss some real information. So I'm going to go upstairs and follow Travis and just to see how things are. I think he's just going to go to sleep, and I'm going to upload this video. Alrighty, Travis. What are the plans now before I turn it off?
There are no plans. That just
Okay.
repeats.
Alrighty.
That's the problem.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload this video, and this will be for mental health awareness. Thank you. I'm happy that Travis is still alive, and it hurts and it's struggling.